I moved to France in 2016, Grande École at EDEC Business School, and my first CDI in 2019, and nearly a decade of paying taxes, building my life here and so on. And I'm only now in 2026 applying for the French nationality, which is a slightly embarrassing thing to admit because the shortcut I'm using right now, it has existed since the moment I landed, much before that, in fact. And I knew about it, but life had other plans. The shortcut is called Article 2118, and if you did your master's in France, it reduces your waiting period from 5 years down to 2 years. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how that thing works, what changed in 2026 for the nationality application that most people applying right now are probably completely unprepared for, and what you need to do from day one to not blow this window. Quick thing, if you're watching this within the first 7 days of me uploading it and you found some kind of value in this video, please hit that hype button. It shows up on your phone after you hit like. For a small channel like mine, it genuinely helps out. But if you're coming to this later, just hit a like, that does the job. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in today. Article 2117, the default rule, it's for 5 years. It's 5 years of habitual residence in France before you can apply for the naturalization. Article 2118, this is the exception. The 5-year wait drops down to 2 years if you successfully completed at least 2 years of higher education in France. So the Grande École program would qualify. Now, before we go any further, I want to know if you understood what we just read together. These two screenshots, basically. Do they mean that you can apply for the nationality straight after your master's, if it was 2 years long? Or does it mean that you need to spend 2 years after your master's with the CDI? Drop your answers in the comments. If you're looking to stay here on the long term, you need a firm understanding of the system and the rules behind it. I'll give you the answer in next week's video or in a short. Now here's the part that nobody warned me about when I first moved here. There are two separate requirements for the nationality. The first one is the legal part. It's strictly about time. How long have you been in France? 2 years, 5 years, it doesn't matter which one you pick. Either ways, this part is just about the calendar, how long you stayed here. And the second one is financial. And this is the one that catches people. The prefecture needs to see that you've been stable here, not just present, stable. Paying taxes, holding contracts, contributing to the system in France and so on. Your internship years count for the first requirement, the time one, but they don't really count for the second one. And that gap is where most dossiers fall apart. If there's a gap in your file, your application goes down to the bottom of the pile. Because when you have a dossier open in the prefecture, you can't close it. You have to wait for them to close it. And if they almost never close it, you're just looking at it for 2 or 3 years until you have to renew your carte de séjour and start afresh. So you lose your fast track thing entirely. A lot of people come to France on internships, and internships are a tax bubble. You pay almost nothing in taxes. The company pays almost nothing in taxes, and it feels great because you take the lion's share home. But here's the thing, your student and internship year fulfill the time requirement, and your CDI fulfills the financial requirement. That's the distinction the prefecture actually cares about. Internships end in 6 months, and nobody wants a gap in contribution sitting in the middle of a naturalization dossier and you're not in this stable situation. Nobody wants that. And if you've dealt with the prefecture before, you already know what I'm going to say when it comes to paperwork and the prefecture. If there's one missing document, that's 6 months of delay. They'll ask you for a complément dossier, you'll probably send it to them, and they'll send you the same complément dossier again, and you're confused. Did I just send it to you? I've been there and I've done that. Now, beyond the paperwork, the integration bar itself has gone up. There are 2 new requirements as of January 2026, which did not exist before. First, the B2 French is a thing. Earlier, it used to be B1. B1 is like calling the customer care and telling them that your internet is down. And B2 is negotiating some kind of cashback, some kind of discount because their service is not working. B2 is a completely different skill, and it takes time to get to B2. If you're at a B1 today and you're planning to apply in 2 years, you need to start now. Not when you feel ready, not when your dossier is complete. You need to do it now. Secondly, the Test Civique. This is new. A civic knowledge exam has been started as of 2026, and we don't have past papers or blogs that tells us how it goes. We don't know what kind of questions come up. All we have is this government syllabus that reads like a degree and a bunch of questions that will be an MCQ. They didn't even give you the answers or the choices. Now, I downloaded this stuff, and after 9 years in France with fluent French, I didn't know half these answers. And I'm being generous with that. I didn't know more than half these answers. This is after working on a farm, after learning French to a point where I don't struggle to express myself, my ideas, consuming French news, French movies, French music, the whole shebang. I even ran the official practice questions with some of my French friends who were born and raised here, and they all struggled with these factual questions. This exam is not easy, and if you don't speak any French, it's even harder. The far right in France is gaining ground, and these filters are tightening, not just for the nationality, but for the residence card too, if you're moving here afresh. Not for the renewal, just afresh. That's the context you're walking into. So if you're looking to work here in France just for a couple of years and go back and you need a carte séjour starting today, you have to go through this Examen Civique thing, and it's not a walk in the park. I made a full video on exactly how I am preparing for the Test Civique, the system I built and the tools I use to put my best foot forward. If you're still here, I think you'll find that video useful. In fact, I'm writing this exam next week and I'll post on the community tab of my channel what the questions were like, what the exam was like, and if I passed this thing. So hit the bell to be notified about it when that comes out next week. So practically, what do you need to do now to not blow this window? 1. Declare your taxes from the very first year you're in France. Even if you owe zero to the state, get your numéro fiscal, get yourself on record and build your footprint in impot.gouv.fr. And later that document from their own database proves that you've been here. I talked about this in detail in my payslips video where I show you 10 years of my payslips. 2. Keep everything, keep every payslip, every contract, every document you've signed. Make a digital copy, back it up to 2 places, 3 I did for myself. I lost my student payslips and I know exactly what that lesson costs. 3. Start the B2 prep early. This should be advice 0 really because it takes that much time. Going from B1 to B2 takes about 200 hours of consistent work. If you have a life, that's 12 to 18 months. The exam won't wait for you when you have a job, so start early. And 4, start the Test Civique prep. Start everything, right? If you're serious about staying here, cramming the government history and all of that stuff in the last moment in a second language is not really easy. So start reading about this before. There is a convenient book. If you read about this, you get an idea of the government, about the country, about the history. This helps. I've spent a decade making these mistakes myself. So I put together a pack for the nationality process, specifically if you're going through that. Everything you need for the interview after your documents are accepted, everything you need for the Test Civique, the one that helps me be a little confident going into this exam hall. And I'm pricing it at €197. For the next 8 days, there's an €80 discount because I want to reward the ones who take action immediately. And the link is in the description. Everything that's in this pack, you can do this yourself. And I've spoken about that in the systems video. So if you want to do it for free, watch that video and build your own pack. But if your time is worth more than $197 and you want a fast track way to just start preparing from right now, that's the product. Now, a couple of months ago, I deactivated my Instagram account and I deleted it. And really, life is great without it. So I may not get back on Instagram. But a lot of you guys reached out on Instagram and you've left comments on how you can reach out to me. And I'm growing into an old man who uses email. It is what it is. Between uploads, I share what I'm working on, what's working, what's not working, my struggles and stuff around this learning journey. And you can join this email list for free with either of my free handbooks in the description. There's Fit in France for navigating your first year here in France. And there's French Mesh for learning the language without burning out. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and keep learning.